everybody, my name is Sheila SO Reads, and today I'm going to be doing a rather large book haul. I don't know when this book haul starts from, but I know that I haven't done one since around Christmas time, and I know that I have collected quite a few books since then. So I decided to just put this all together, but I guess this can be a spring book haul, possibly also some of winter. Pretty much since my last book haul, these are a lot of books that I got. I might be missing some of them. And also, I've gotten a lot of ebooks because there are a bunch of ebook sales that I took part in, but I'm not going to be talking about those because some of them are just I got them because they were free, or I got them because they were cheap and I don't know a lot about them. We're just gonna get right into it. So the first book that I got is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Donna Tartt is the author of The Secret History, which is a book that I adore. And so I don't know a lot about this. I know that the goldfinch is a painting that the main character steals. There's a fire or something, and I think his family dies in it. I know that there's an art heist with this painting. I know that there are pretentious dudes, and I know that there are wealthy people, and that he's an adopted rich person. He's not it's not in his blood, he's adopted. I didn't really know too much about The Secret History when I started reading it. I just knew what I'd seen on Tumblr. It's definitely a very aesthetically pleasing book. I know that sometimes Donna Tartt's writing can be difficult to read, and I definitely consider The Secret History to be a modern classic, mostly because of her writing style and the depth of her writing. And so I expect that this is going to be similar to that. This is literally so heavy, my arm hurts. The next book is Sleeping Giants by Sylvian Neuvel. So this one kind of gives me Oxenfree vibes. Oxenfree is a video game that I really enjoy. The description also kind of reminds me of First We Were Four, which is a book that I started reading for my book club at school but never actually finished. So I hope that when I start this I actually finish it. I've seen it around BookTube on a few different channels. I'm pretty sure that Books with Emily Fox has talked about it, and maybe someone else, but I'm really not sure about that. It's a sci-fi novel, which is not really something that I usually read. When the main character is a child, she stumbles across literally this mysterious artifact, and then she grows up and becomes a scientist researching this mysterious artifact, since they still have no idea where it came from when she is all grown up and an adult. And so a big part of this book seems to be her trying to figure out what this artifact is, where it came from, everything about it. But then the last line on the back of the book says, "Once the pieces of the puzzle are in place, will the result prove to be an instrument of lasting peace or a weapon of mass destruction?" And that sounds very intense, and I'm kind of nervous. I know that this is a trilogy, so hopefully I'll like the other books. I also saw it at a few bookstores, and I was like, ooh, I like that. I like the cover, so hopefully I'll get to it soon. Next I have Edward II by Christopher Marlowe. This is a play. While I was researching an essay last semester that I wrote on Hamlet, I ended up stumbling across some pieces of this text because the "Good night, sweet prince" from Hamlet is also echoed in this. One of the characters calls the main character Sweet Prince. There's definitely some gays in this play. Edward is gay, and I think one of the big things is that he has a male lover, and while this is historically accurate and everything, that's also a big deal. And I read a Tumblr post recently that said he picks his mans over his lands, and for some reason that's a bad thing, and so I'm a little worried for what's gonna happen in this, but I'm still excited. I like the cover also. I don't know, these are the new Mermaids editions, which are an imprint of Bloomsbury, and I think it's pretty cool. I might get more if I get non-Shakespeare plays, then I might get some more in this edition because I think they're pretty cool. Next I got Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead by Tom Stoppard. This is based off of two characters who show up in Hamlet. They kind of just appear out of nowhere. They're supposed to be his friends from school, then he ends up killing them while he's away on a boat. So that's kind of strange. I just finished this play yesterday, and I don't really know what happened, and I don't think that Rosencrantz or Guildenstern know what happened either, so we're all in the same boat. Quite literally for them. We all know it wouldn't be an SL Reads book haul if there wasn't Shakespeare in it. So this is The Tempest by William Shakespeare. I was at Barnes & Noble and in the Shakespeare section, as I often am, and one of the workers there came up to me and started talking to me about Shakespeare and was like, "Oh, you should read The Tempest." And I was like, okay, and apparently that's enough to get me to buy a Shakespeare play. I don't really know anything about this one. I know it's a tragic comedy, and so I'm expecting it's going to be very weird, but besides that, I don't really know. I've heard of the main character who's Prospero, but besides that, I have no clue what to expect. Staying in the Shakespeare vein, I got Tyrant, Shakespeare on Politics by Stephen Greenblatt. I was at an independent bookstore, and then I really had to pee, and I felt bad asking for the bathroom key without buying something, and so I bought this. I'd seen it before, and so it wasn't I just randomly picked it up, never having known what it was. This author is actually a world-renowned Shakespeare scholar, and while I don't know a lot about him, I thought that was great, and so I wanted to pick this up and learn more about it. I know that politics are a big thing in Shakespeare from what I've researched and from the different discussions I've had based on his plays, and it also just feels really nice. We got out of the bookstore and all my friends were just holding it like this. It's very nice. We all liked it a lot. The next book is a bit of a Shakespeare inspiration, but it's also the first book on this list from Book of the Month, A Million Junes by Emily Henry. Book of the Month is a subscription service that I just recently got. I'm going to leave a link down below if you want to sign up for it. We could each get a free credit to use in a book, and that'd be pretty cool. I don't know a lot about this. I know that it's magical realism, and I know that it has inspiration from Romeo and Juliet. It's set in Michigan. There are wolves and ghosts and forbidden romance, and besides that I'm really not sure what to expect. But one of my favorite series is The Raven Cycle, which is magical realism, and also I like Shakespeare, so I feel like it's a good mix of two things that I really enjoy. The next Book of the Month book that I have is Still Lives by Maria Hummel. This is a book that I read already. Shocking, I know, because I have so many books and I just can't read all of them. So the way that this was sold to me was it's about an art heist, but instead of the art getting stolen, the artist gets kidnapped. And that is what happens. So you go into the book knowing this, and so the book starts, I haven't found out that the artist is kidnapped yet, and then it goes through like the next week and like finding out information. The thing about this was that every single time I thought I knew what was going on, the main character found out some more information, and it just like completely threw a wrench in every single theory that I had. Like going into it I was like, oh, maybe this person did it, maybe this person did it, and I was just completely thrown when I actually found out what happened. It is so intense, it is so cool, I really like art, and the descriptions of this artist really reminded me of descriptions of Cindy Sherman, who was perfectly fine, did not get kidnapped. I just mean like the way they talked about her art reminded me of seeing Cindy Sherman's art, and I really like her, and so I was like, wow, this is so cool. There were so many like good things about this and so many stressful things. I was literally reading this like laying in my parents' bedroom, like on their bed, just like panicking because I had no idea what was happening. I was so stressed. I'm not a thriller person, but I've just recently gotten a bunch of thrillers, or like promised people I would read thrillers, so I guess that's what I'm doing nowadays. The next Book of the Month book is Circe by Madeline Miller. This is by the author of one of my favorite books of all time, which is The Song of Achilles. But this is about Circe. I don't really know that much about Circe. I'm pretty sure she's in the Odyssey. She's the one who turns Odysseus' men to pigs, which is pretty cool. Girl power, am I right? But I know this is going to be amazing. Madeline Miller has such a beautiful writing style. She is so well versed. She is actually a classic scholar herself, so she knows all these stories in depth, and she knows exactly what she's talking about. She's been researching this for years and years, and I have been looking forward to this ever since it was announced a few years ago, and I was just so excited to be able to pick it up in my Book of the Month a few months ago. And I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I really hope to soon, because first of all, it's beautiful. I'm so excited. I know it's going to be fantastic and probably heartbreaking. I mean, The Song of Achilles broke my heart into a million pieces. I've never been the same since, so this is probably going to happen again. And then the final Book of the Month book that I have received is The Anomaly by Michael Rutger. This was marketed as kind of being like Indiana Jones, which for some reason sold it to me, despite the fact that I've never seen Indiana Jones. The description on the Book of the Month website also mentioned conspiracy theories, which I am a huge fan of, and I was like, well, I need to buy this right now. The main character seems to be an archaeologist who goes to the Grand Canyon to find this mysterious, legendary cave, which the summary also seems to make it sound like you're not supposed to find this cave, you're not supposed to go into this cave, it's sealed for a reason, so I'm a little stressed. This is what I meant by me getting thrillers, despite the fact that I don't really have the heart for it. But you know, it's too late, he did that. He has to deal with the consequences of opening this cave. I hope like Bigfoot's in there or something exciting like that. I love me some cryptids, and also conspiracy theories. The next book is Tyler Johnson Was Here by J. Coles. I've kind of got this book because it has the most beautiful cover that I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is so pretty, but it's also a very sad story. It is about police brutality and race relations in America. I think this was published a few months ago, but I'm pretty sure it's a very similar book to The Hate U Give. This involves two brothers going to a party, one of them going missing during a police raid. His brother finds out that he is dead, and not only that, but there is a video of him being killed by a police officer. Next, there is The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I don't really know a lot about this. I only know what I've heard from other booktubers talking about it. It is a fantasy with a very large magic system set in Africa. I know that the magic has like left the land, and part of the main plot and the main goal in the book, the main character Zelly is trying to get the magic back. Next I have Ex Libris Confessions of a Common Reader by Anne Fadiman. This is an essay anthology, which is not actually something that I read very often, but I saw it in a Tall Tales video. She was talking about essay anthologies. I was trying to do a reading challenge this year in which one of the prompts was read an essay anthology. I ended up deciding not to do that just because there were so many other books that I wanted to read and it was kind of limiting me, but I bought this anyways, and it's very short and the essays seem to be very interesting. That was one of the things that Alina over at Tall Tales said, was that these are like very easy essays to read and they're very interesting, especially since the author is like a huge reader. They are very relatable for people like booktubers who read a lot and people who like watching booktube, because we all read a lot. And the final book that I got during spring is The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. I don't know a lot about this. I know that it is an LGBT book. I am pretty sure that there are lesbians in it. When Love, Simon came out, there was a bunch of people talking about this book because this apparently was made into a movie and it was not like picked up by any studio, so they were trying to get it out there. I don't really know anything that has happened with that since. I hope that it's coming out because I would love to watch it. The only thing that's concerning about this book is that it does involve conversion therapy, which I'm not really interested in reading about. Like, I know that it happens, but that's like kind of like the horror story. Like, I don't want to think about that kind of thing about like the LGBT community. I know that it's something that happens, and so maybe it's an important thing to learn about. I don't know, I just feel really weird about that aspect of the story. It seems to be set in Montana, and it is about a girl whose parents die, and she ends up moving in with some very conservative relatives, hence the conversion therapy. That is the end of my book haul. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any of these books. If you have any comments on them, please let me know down below. If you think I should read any of them sooner than later, I would love to know your opinions. If you want to connect with me on any social media, all my links are down below. That's Goodreads and Twitter and Tumblr. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to, then please subscribe. You can see more videos from me. But besides that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!